I was betrayed by bloggers. Never trust bloggers. Trust my channel. Second part of the Crescent City. If you're curious about my review of the first part, here's a link and you can follow the link and you can watch review of the first part of the series. Bloggers said that first book is so, but next books would be much better. And it's not much better at all. In the first my video of this series, I told you that book was disappointed for me, and I was regret that I already bought two these books, like second and third part. But I was watch bloggers and they said that like second and third part, it's amazing. Just continue to read and you will be thrilled of what it happened. I wasn't thrilled at all. Second book even much more boring than first book. It's again we have detective line. In the first book they try to find Lunahorn, in the second book they try to find Emily and what is her name? Sophie. Emily and Sophie. Emile and Sophie. So it's kind of the same how it's first book. I would be honest with you right away and tell you the truth. Second book worse than first book. It's even much more boring. Don't buy second book. We will see about third book because I still has hope. Of course I has hope because I already spent money for the third book. And I will let you know when I will read third part how it is. But so far buy only one book. Don't make the same mistake what I'm usually doing and buy whole series of the book. What if I would like first book? And then I would want to continue with the series, but it would be already more expensive than buy all books together than each one month. So yes, let's start. Okay, let's a little bit talk about this book before when we start to talk what is inside of this book and to the deep analysis. If it's possible to make it deep. Because this book it's not deep at all. It's for all my expectation what I have. I expected that okay in the first part Hunt a little bit shy was and he was a slave, so of course he would be looks more weak. I mean like it's not fish not meat how we say, right? It's like he don't did any decision and okay I just don't see that he is a man, you know, like he just following the Bryce like a puppy, and in this book he's continue following Bryce like a puppy. He just like has superpower and he doesn't know what to do with this superpower. So I upset about him. So because I reading books like this as that to see perfect man and he is not perfect at all, and I became even angry of this. After make more accent of the detective line. It's still more detective line, less love. So you wouldn't find love in this book so much. I like read detectives, it is true. But I like read detectives what is interesting detectives, and this is not interesting at all. It's the same how it was in the first part. They just like running and try to find them. Oh my gosh, her name, Sophie. Sophie and Emile. They just like in the first book, Lunahorn, the whole book was running. Here they would be whole book running for the Sophie and Emile. So it would be kind of the same, you know. It's many dialogists, actions, characters. Characters it's supposed to be the same, right? But in general, everything the same how it's in the first book. But what I bought second book, it's the same in the first book. I could save money. No, just like I don't like to waste my money just like for nothing, you know. It was show up a new character. It's okay. It was many new characters, right? Show up, but one of them was Dragon, and I just like okay, at least Dragon would be nice, you know. Like, but even with Dragon, it was pretty disappointed. I was. Again, we continue with Danica. R.I.P. with her. But no, it would be in the second part too, and the same. She had some secret, and they tried to solve it. How it was in the previously book. It was Danica and her secrets, and here it's Danica and her secrets. So it's kind of the same. Okay, it was some interesting parts there. I was like read about Rune. It was interesting, and in general it was some intrigue, who is good character, who is bad characters, but Sarah has in the many books this intrigue, so it was kind of continue, and again bad characters became good characters continue to be good characters. So let's move to the rate this book. First book I rated 2 stars, I guess. So this one would be 1 star because everything the same, nothing new. And if in the first book it was new world and in general it was kind of interesting because everything new, here it's everything copied from the first book, and I didn't have emotional books like this. I like to read that I would have a lot of emotions, and I all the time would be think about this book until when I finish to read this book. But I never think about this book. I was just thought, oh my gosh, when I will finish read this book. That's it. It's very plain story with some interesting details, but in general it's not worth your attention. So 1 star out of the 5. Short, what's going on in this book. So Bryce's parents visited her in the Crescent City. They went to the theater. Bryce's star was on her chest all the time shone, and seems that Bryce with a hunt, and they living together in her apartment, but they don't have sex because they have this stupid bargain about that half year they wouldn't have sex and they will know each other more. Since that they killed 2 archangels, Asteroids, they sent to them new 2 archangels. It's Celestina and Ephraim. Also, Bryce met with her new fiance. It's Cormac name, and he is son of High King. And Bryce, of course, not happy to hear that she has some fiance because she loves hunt. Afterwards, they meet with Tyrion, and he had orders from the River Queen to find Sophie and Emir, who was rebels, and they was escaped from Hyde, and Hyde is sister of Hypaxia. Hypaxia is queen of the witches, who is supposed to marry for the Rune, and Rune is brother of Bryce, like this. And they also Thunderbirds. Ethan, werewolf, ex-friend of Bryce, he started to live with the Bryce because he was kicked out from his pack, and also they found out that Cormac is agent of the rebels and he helped Sophie escape, and also he had some feelings and has some feelings to her. They started to try to find Sophie and Emil and went to the meat market and couldn't find anything there. Pollux and Baxian, it's ex-employers of Archangel before what it was. They start to serve to the Celestina, and they had public fighting, and Asteris didn't like it, and they decided to punish Celestina, and Celestina supposed to marry to the Ephraim, another archangels, and they're kind of friends, but Celestina is lesbian, so of course she is not fan of this idea, but she doesn't have any choice, so she is agree with this proposal. There's rappers, it's creature who is served to the under king, and they something between alive and died. So it's hard to kill them, but Bryce killed them, and she first time used Star Sword, and Star Sword was glowing in her hands, and seems that they have connection, and with Star Sword she could manage to kill them. And also she understood that Cormac, he knows how to teleportation do, and he is agreed to teach Bryce because Bryce can do it too. Hunt and Bryce, they decided went to the Underking and talk with him. Underking didn't like this idea, seems like, and attacked them. Bryce and Hunt, they mixed their power and became even more strong, and that's what has helped them to survive. Also, they found out that souls, what is after when people die, right? They came to the Underking to some gate, and they are more like charges that to create second light. Also, the second archangel drops his triad, its height show up, and Murdoch, and Bryce also find out that Murdoch is father of Danica, and he is pretty evil, and also that Ethan loves Bryce. They had meeting with the rebels, but it's turned bad. And also Hint, she is show up, and she see that they are working for the rebels, but they managed to escape from her, and also they figure out that actually Sophie, she is died. Also Bryce, she was asked the Viper Queen to help her with find Emil, and she found Emil, and Emil told them that he doesn't have any power, and Bryce was sent him to her parents and changed his name that nobody could find him anymore. At the same time, Ethan was released 3 fire spirits and 1 dragon. Also, he's figured out that in Astronomus or Media, something like this, and she is a slave, and Ethan doesn't like this, and afterwards he went to the Prime and asked about this wolf, and Prime was told Ethan that she is Fenrir here. When it was another attack to the Bryce and Hypoxia during the walks, Ethan supposed to secure them, and plus Dragon, what he was released, but Dragon was escaped to the Dragon Queen, and she tried to earn her freedom from the Queen. Also Tarion, who is doesn't like to serve anymore to the River Queen, she also went to the Viper Queen and asked that he wants to be her slave, and he before was freedom male, and now he belongs to the Viper Queen, and Viper Queen just let him last his mission to do is help his friends, and afterwards he would be totally belong to her. Bryce also found out that Danica was lied to her, and she had mate, and it was Baxian, the enemy, and when Baxian was met with Danica, they keep it in the secret, and Baxian was helped Danica how he could. Bryce and Han, they sneak out to the Eternal City, to the Astery, that to figure out what is Danica find out and why she was killed, because it was supposed something really shocking. And when they came there, Bryce found out that actually Astery, how they alive is because of the first light. It's like when everybody do drop, they feed Astra, and that's why they still alive. Because Bryce, Hunt, Cormac, that was in the trap. Soon he had this power. He was talking with other with teleportation with like souls, and he was talked to some agent who was on the rebel side, and her name is Day. He starts has some feelings to her, and she is like to him, and they try to figure out who is whom. And that's moment when they were trapped, and she was fight for them, and that's time when Rune figure out that hint is a day. At the end of the book, we have that Bryce, she wanted to escape to the hell that asked for help there. There was some have confusion, and she went to the Akatar world where she meets with the Ryzen, and that's what it was nice. And Hunt, Rune, Vaxian, they became slaves again, and Cormac was dead, Tyrion slave of Viper Queen, and Ethan was released feather here. And let's start discuss this book. Oh, if it would be something to discuss. Right, okay, let's start from the quote. Bryce was thinking again about Lihaba. Lihaba is fire spirit who was also her friend, and she was killed in the first book. The thoughts still circled, as if dancing right along with her. You might have found a way, revealed yourself as a stubborn earlier. Told Lihaba to run while you faced Nika. She talked about it with Han too, and he'd pointed out that all of those options would have resulted in Bryce's own death, but Bryce couldn't get past the question, why was Lilia's life any less valuable than Bryce's? Her stubborn princess status meant nothing. Again, it's like these thoughts about nothing, why, maybe it can be different, and blah blah blah. And especially this question, why was Lilia's life any less valuable than Bryce? And that's what is easy to answer, because Lelahab, she couldn't kill Mika, and Bryce, she managed to kill him. That's why Bryce's life was more valuable than Lelihab's. Everywhere leaders, they usually survive, and not leaders, they not survived, right? Because leaders, it's like who is lead the people and who is can manage to bring to them better life than just regular people, right? So here the same Bryce, she is managed to kill Mika, and some creatures, they feel better and release, right? So that's why Bryce's life was more valuable than Lihaba. Oh, this bargain between Hunt and Bryce, I was so laughing when I was read that they have bargains that they have here. They wouldn't have sex, and they would just let each other more time to understand who is there, like what's their relationship they have between each other, just like know each other more. And I mean, like, how it's like connect with each other, right? Like, anyway, if you living in the same apartment, like, and Hunt and Bryce, they was all the time like had sex with different strangers, and that was fine. But here with your partner, with like person who you really love and want to be with, no, let's like figure out and more to spend time with each other, like, and no sex, and all the time thinking about sex. It's like whole book I had feeling that relationship, it's like can be like different relationship. It's or equal, or it's like mother and son, and something else was. Anyway, here we obviously see that it's like mother and son, because Han can do anything if Bryce wouldn't be approved it. And I'm not fan of this relationship, especially in the books, right? Where man is like a puppy and just following his owner. That's it. Because it seems that Han, he is like doesn't understand what's going on, what's happened. He just like try to do everything for Bryce, no matter what. And in general, he seems more weak. Yeah, so yeah, it's just not my type of relationship. So obviously, I was kind of bored to read about this. I was also laughing from that moment when Bryce said, okay, we would help rebels, right? We would be like kind of on the side of the rebels' work and blah, blah, blah. And Han just like, oh no, what to say, that she would change her mind. It's so scary, and he all the time starts to have this panic attack and he's shaking, crying, faint, all this stuff. But a few months ago, he was helped rebels to fight these scenes, this drug, right? So of course he just before Bryce, but okay, Bryce he was met 1 year ago, and he was told her that if he would be released, what first he will do, he would be continue rebels moves to do. And after some time with Bryce, he understood that probably not, but still he will help his friend to buy this drug. And after a few more months, he started to be weak and scary, and just like, oh no, we should to stop it. It's not good to help rebels. Let's like to live how we will live and blah blah blah. And it's only a few months between when he was a rebel and when it's like real actions, what he can do, he just like, no, I changed my mind. Prince from the Hell, he was, okay, Bryce, you have a lot of power and you need to discover and you need to learn what power you have. I wouldn't tell you, but you have to find out and figure out what you have. And about Hunt, he has like some crazy amount of power, and it would be like help with these rebel moves. And they like do absolutely everything except training and figure out what powers they have. And only on the some fighting, especially with this Under King or like Asa when she was like teleport, they on that time only figure out that actually, or what it would be cool if to mix our powers, or actually I can teleport or something else. They just figure out all of this only during fighting when it's like high adrenaline and everything, but not before fighting. They like came to the fight totally unprepared, just like with a rage and anger. And that's it. And of course they were lucky because it's a book about them, right? But disappointed. It's like so not organized. And again, there are some characters where they have much more knowledge, much more experience, and in general they like more understand what's going on, how it would be better figure out and everything. And they lose, or they seems like more stupid than Bryce and Hunt, who is just more thinking about their relationship, about how they love their friends and relatives, and they in some way winner on this. I mean, it's just not logic. I don't like when it's not logic. I like that author, it's like in many of her books, she usually make bad characters to the good characters, and that's nice because you can change, right? And about Celestina, because she looks good, but you all whole book just thinking she's really good or she's pretends that she is good, but she is like some kind of monster, right? And the same it was interesting about Hind and Baxian, that's twist that they actually like good. Agent Day, I was so angry with the rune. because when Rune figure out that actually Hint she is bad character, but she is on the rebel side, and she very good give information and help rebels, but also she is killed and torture a lot of innocent people, and Rune just like, no, you're a monster, you're bad, I don't want to be with you. And for me it was shocked, because how he can say it when how it's supposed to work, this spy good spy is like what you never even has any hints or whatever that he is a spy. Then she would be alive. If somebody would think that she is good, even just like small thought had about this, she would be died immediately. So what she did, I mean, she did it for the good. It's just like Rune, who is like how I said, like Rune, Bryce, they just like kind of party children, and how it was whole city thinking. And even when we see from the different side, I still see the party children who is pretend that they're heroes, and suddenly they have like more help and more discovery of their powers and more lucky they are, but in general they're like party children, and they still doesn't, I mean, they don't have knowledge, they don't have experience, they don't have anything, and say that Hint, you are bad because you killed others, and in general you have this like evil amplitude. I mean, that's what is make her a really good source of the information for survivor and really good spy. That's actually what is cool, and she saved your life also. Like to read about Bryce when she all the time, no matter what happens, she all the time call Hunt, just like, Hunt, show up, I need you. And he show up, and he is actually mostly do nothing. He is mostly look angry and just like, if you touch you, I will kill you, and that's it. He is not doing anything at all. Mostly situation was figured out by Bryce and her friends, but Hunt, he is just was like some element there what looks threatened, and that's it. And I think in the book it was too much rage, his threat, and like it's about nothing. Like, I mean, I don't know, maybe in some way it's supposed to be romantic and good, but for me it was annoyed. I was annoyed all the time. I like also when Danica all the time had all secrets from the Bryce. And everybody say, well, she's trying to protect you and blah blah blah, but again it seems that Danica thinks that Bryce is nothing and very weak person and not deserve her trust. I mean, like Danica make much hard and seems that she knows that she will die pretty soon, and still she has a lot of secrets from the Bryce, and she left Bryce alone, that she will be risking her life and figure out the information. Instead, Danica could left some stick for the computer that, for example, it would be her secrets, and Bryce could just like look what is Danica would say about all her secrets, or Danica could just like share with Bryce, and then it wouldn't be these two books. Right? But yeah, just like this friend who is like doesn't trust another friend, is it friend or no? Like, if doesn't believe in your power, doesn't believe in you. When Rune, he was discovered that actually Hint is a day, and he just like, oh no, I don't like you, I don't want to be with you, and blah blah blah, you evil, I'm good. And when Hint, it was some moment when she was need help and she was suffering, and Rune, like real knight, I will protect you, just try to touch her and I will kill you, don't touch her, or something like this. And when Hint is stopped to suffer, and Rune again, I don't like her, she is evil, and blah blah blah. It just seems that he wants a weak partner for himself, because when it's woman suffering and she's weak and she needs help, he is here. When she is kind of like take control of the situation, he just like, no, you evil, I don't want to be with you. That moment when it's like Baxian, Aidan and others, and they were like during the whole book just like to the Bryce and Hunt they all the time just like, okay, when you would be ready, come to us, we will give you more information. And what they answer, this Bryce and Hunt to them, like, fuck you. And that was for me very strange to read about this, because for what struggling, make so much efforts, probably that it would be killed your friends and you, instead just like came to these people and ask what they know, and probably that information what they will give you, they even would have proofs. And you, at least like when you would listen them afterwards, you can decide to believe or no, to continue to search for more information or no. But like what they did is all the time like, fuck you, what fuck you. And again, if it wouldn't be like this, it wouldn't be 800 pages to read. And if you would look at the book, Bryce and Hunt and their team, they just like, oh no, Hint is such a bad, oh no, Baxian is such a bad. And if it wouldn't be Baxian and Hint, they would be died somewhere in the beginning of the book. Like, so who is bad? People who is risking their life and do horrible stuff, but that to protect more people and try to help you, give you information, and you just like, fuck you, you are bad, you evil, and we are good. We do nothing, we are good. And conclusion of this book, how I said before, pretty weak book. Worse than first part. I hope that next part would be much better. We will see, I'll let you know. So many characters, so many actions, so many adventures, and still nothing. Very plain book, no emotionals, no entertainment, and one my thought during whole book, it was when it would be the end of this book. I was counting literally every page, because what I was like in this book, maybe it was 100 pages, but I was liked at the end when Bryce went to the Akatar world and it was Ryzen, and Akatar series, of course, I loved more than this one, because Akatar series they have Velaris only for this beautiful world you can read, right? Here they don't have Velaris, but it was nice to meet again with that characters. So I'm looking forward for the third part, just to see how it would be Bryce with Bryson and his friends. Like intrigue about Hell and Astery, and I would like to read about Fenrir here, about this Alpha Wolf, how it would be. So at least some stuff I'm looking forward, but in general it's a pretty big book and my expectation was much higher than I got. Thank you that you're watching my video. If you want to support my channel, please subscribe and left your comment, and see you on my next video and next book.